Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial about implementing domain-driven design within your Flutter applications. We are currently in our UI or presentation layer where we started creating our home page, which we see here displaying a shelf with a list of books on it. And right now we have the add book page to implement. As you can see, there's that plus button, and when you click that button or that widget, then you should be able to add a book to this particular shelf. So let us jump into that now and create the add book page or screen. So let us go to pages and I'll create the add book page. Now this is going to be a stateful widget, so I'll quickly scaffold out a stateful widget. I'll call it add book page. And I'll import this from material library. No, I do not need the dispose method, so I'll get rid of that. And I do not need the animation controller, so I'll get rid of that also. So I will now go to the main and I'll use the add book page so I can see what it looks like. So if I save that, then yes, I'll have a black screen. And I want to remove that debug check banner. I'm going to put that to false, so that debug strip should be removed. So now back to our add book page. So our add book page will behave somewhat like a modal, and I want it to look like a book with the different fields that you can just enter. So the idea here is to use this book image, and this will behave like a dialog, and then I'll have some fields on it. For example, the title and the author and all the fields necessary to add a new book. So inside my build widget, I will create a center widget. So here we have a container. I'm going to say center, and inside that I'll have a hero widget, so I can use the hero animation, if you remember from the last video, and the tag for that is add book. Now I want the child for this hero widget to be a card, and inside the card I want a stack. So the child of the card will be a stack. And the children will be the book as the background and the different fields to enter the information. Child. So now I'm going to say image asset, and I'm going to get that book images slash book png. I'm going to get that book image from the assets folder, and I'm going to give it a fit of box fit fill. So now if I save that, then you'll have my book image right there showing up. So now we have our book image as the background, and now we're gonna create some text fields on top of that. So image asset, and then I'm just gonna create a method called build UI. So, and this method is responsible for adding the different text fields. So now I'm gonna say build UI, and I'm going to return a container with a height the same as the book image and a width the same as the book image. And for its child, I'm going to use a list view. So this will be a list view with the different text fields for its children. So if I'm gonna set the physics to never scrollable physics, since I do not want this list view to scroll. And I'm also gonna give my container a padding edge inset only. I'm gonna give it left 50, right 20, and top 40. And you'll soon see why. So now I'm gonna add my text fields for the information, but instead of creating a bunch of separate text fields, I'm gonna create a method that will pass the information to about the field, and the method will create the field. So I'm gonna create a method, create text field, and this method will accept the hint. So I'm gonna say, for example, title. It will accept a font size. I'm gonna say for the title 26, and it will accept also font weight, which for the title I want it to be bold. And also, instead of using text controllers to get the data or the information that is typed into the text field, I'm gonna use the onChange method just to track and capture the information that is being typed in the text fields. So value, so I'll pass the onChange method. So now if we create our should return a text field or create text field method. So we have the hint string, we have our font size, which is a double font size, We have also the font weight. And then we have the method, the onChange function that is to be called, which accepts the value, and I'll just call it onChanged. So that's my create field. Put them in curly brace for named parameters. So now this method should return a text field with the onChange method being the onChanged method from the parameter. I want to give it a cursor color of colors black 87, and for this text style I want to give it a text style with the color being black, the font weight being the font weight that is passed, and also the font size. So that's our text style, but I also want for our text decoration, input decoration, I want to set the hint text to hint at the parameter that we pass in again, and the hint style, I'm going to give it a text style with the font size being the same size and the font weight being the same font weight that we pass in. And for the border, I want it to have an input border of type none. So I don't want it to have a border. And so now if I save that, then I should see a text field. Let me reload. So there we have the title. So we have the title. So that's the first one, the title. So let us add the others. I'm going to add copy. I'm going to add another one for author. I'm going to give it a font size of 18. It's a normal font weight. If I save that, and I have the author, and I'm going to give the rest of the text fields the same style as the author. So I'm going to say the next one is ISBN. Then I have, after the ISBN, I have the date or published date. So I have title, author, ISBN, and publish date. Great. So now below this, I'm going to add a button to add the book. So I'm going to say, I'm going to create a container and I'm going to align it. I'm going to align it to the bottom right. So alignment bottom right. And for its child, I am going to use a flat button for the unpress. For now, I'm just gonna give it an empty function. But for the child, I'm gonna add a text. And this text, say add, and that's text style. Text styled with the font size of 20 and the color blue. So there is my add button. So that is what our add book screen will look like. So we have the title, author, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to add those fields here as private fields. String, title, initialize to empty, string, author, so there we have our fields, and I'm going to back to our create fields. So for the onChange method, I'm going to say for this one, set the title to the value. And that's basically the same thing for the others. So the author, set it to the value. So there, for each of the onChange method, for each field, I just set the corresponding variable to the value so that when we click the add button to add the book, these variables will already have the information from the different text fields. So now I am going to go to my home page, and from here, whenever the add book button is clicked, then I'm going to bring up this add book page. So first go back to the main, change this back to home page. Save, reload. So I'll render out my home page again. And then inside the home page, for this gesture on top right here, I need to create a material route that will add the book, or that will open the add book page. So on top, I'm going to say navigator push and I'm going to push a page route builder. Since I'm using hero animation and I want it to behave like a dialogue, so I'm going to use a page route builder, and I'm going to, for some of the parameters, for example, this full screen dialog, I'm going to set it to true, and the barrier dismissible to true, and the barrier color to colors black 38. So I'll have that transparent fading backdrop. Opaque should be false. And now for our builder, I'm going to say build context. I'm going to need those two parameters, and I'm going to say add book page. So save. Let me see if it is working. No, it is not working. Let us see. So it is working, guys. You just have to reload. So there we have it. So whenever I click this add book method button widget rather, then the add book screen will pop up and so we can add a book from here. Now in our add book page, the parent widget is a container, and so the issue with this is that if you want to, for example, use to show a dialogue or the snack bar, then you won't be able to do that because the snack bar uses a scaffold, uses the context from the scaffold to show the snack bar. So I want to wrap this in a scaffold. I want to make this page, the primary widget or the parent widget, a scaffold, so that I might use the snack bar later to display certain information. So I'm just gonna say wrap with widget scaffold, and instead of child, the scaffold has a body. I'm going to say extend the body behind the bar. I'm going to set that to true, and I'm also going to make the background color transparent for the scaffold. So now if I click, you should see the scaffold, but the issue now is that I cannot click off or click away to close it. So what I'm going to do to fix this is that I'm going to wrap the scaffold inside a gesture detector widget. I'm going to wrap it inside of a gesture detector. And then on top, with the on top, I'm going to say navigator context. Then I'll just pop So I'll remove this, I'll pop this screen or route or page from the navigator stack. So there we go. Click outside, click, there we have it, click outside, then it pops. So that is our ad book page for now, and also our home page. So in the next video, we are basically finishing up now. In the next video, we'll just compose the app by wiring up everything, and then that should be it. So thank you guys for watching this video, and see you in the next one.